John's faith was something that was very important to him. And not long ago, for a church event, John was asked to share and put into writing just a brief summary of his spiritual journey. So we're fortunate to have that written in such a clear form today. And I'm going to ask Laurence to come and share that written testimony of John with us. Thanks, Laurence.
Sorry. Right, yeah, I'm going to try and read this through glazed eyes, so it could be a bit hard, but here we go. I was born in Rotorua at a very young age. With my parents, I attended the Methodist Church on rare occasions and heard some Sunday school stories, but was probably too young to grasp the gospel message. I attended Owhara Primary School as part of the Bible School program, and an invite was extended during one of these sessions to attend an after-school program held at St Mark's Church on the corner of Tenai Road and Sunrise Ave. It was here that I first heard the gospel explained, and as a young boy of about 10 years old, I prayed an earnest prayer, asking Jesus to forgive me for my sins and to be the Lord of my life. At this point, I stopped doing drugs, drinking alcohol, and stealing fast cars. Just kidding, I was only 10 years old. In the middle of my first year of primary school, my father died of cancer. My mother had been widowed and had 3 boys to raise. The following year, my older brother was sent to St Paul's boarding school in Hamilton. And a year later, I was enrolled in Dulworth School in Auckland. It was in my Form 2 year, or Year 8 as it is now known. Dulworth School is an Anglican school, and attending the chapel 3 times a week was compulsory for all. There was also the opportunity to attend voluntary communion services during the week. However, these were not very well attended by the students, as most students shunned anything to do with Christianity. It was during this time that my Christian faith developed, as I had made a commitment to regularly attend the voluntary services in spite of peer pressure to do otherwise. After completing my education at Dulworth, I enrolled in Waikato Polytechnic to gain a certificate in agriculture with the aim of going dairy farming. During this time, I had accommodation in a hostel. Student life revolved around alcohol and partying. In this stage of my life, I was less interested in what God wanted and more interested in being popular and indulging myself. After completing my course and working for a share milker in Ngatea for a short time, I decided that I didn't enjoy the solitary lifestyle. It seemed foreign to me after being in the busy and social environments of boarding schools and polytechnic hostels. So I returned home to Rotorua. I gained employment in the hospitality industry and continued to live a self-centered life. I had not bothered to attend any church since my school days, and it was easy to drift as there was no accountability and no one to challenge me in my lifestyle or the choices I made. One of my best friends had decided to spend New Year's at a Hopi beach, and due to work commitments, I couldn't go. On his return, he was insistent that we attend a youth group that he had encountered at the beach, doing a beach mission. Neither of us were motivated by spiritual yearnings, but rather by the young ladies that were the star attraction. It didn't take long for my friend to fall by the wayside. However, after the initial attraction of the ladies had subsided, I soon found myself in an environment where I felt a spiritual awakening. I quickly had a group of Christian mates that encouraged me and challenged me. I recommitted my life and felt a renewed desire to read my Bible, study and pray. A short time later, I was baptised. So that is how I became involved in Focus and Whena Park Bible Church. Life as a Christian isn't always going to be easy, and I have experienced peaks and troughs along the way. I don't have all the answers, but this I know to be true, that whatever we go through in life, we don't have to go through it alone. An example of this for me was when I was in hospital a couple of years back, after having a small heart attack. I was in the cardiac unit under observation and awaiting further tests. The nurses would come around every 3 hours and give me medication and take my blood pressure, etc. Around 3 a.m. on Sunday morning, the nurse had finished giving me medication and cleaning the lure in my arm. And I started to drift back to sleep. However, the heart monitoring alarm went off as my pulse rate fell too low. I found myself sweating profusely and struggling to breathe. The nurse appeared and checked the machine. She then said she would be back very soon. My throat was so dry I couldn't even muster the strength to reach for a glass of water. At first, I imagined how it would... Oh, hang on, sorry, I've lost it. At first, I was panicked by this, thinking that this is it. My time is up. Not quite how I imagined it would be, in the dark, in a hospital bed, just slipping away. But then a peace came over me, and I felt myself saying, Lord, if this is your plan for my life to end now, I'm okay with it. Obviously, I had made it through that small trial, but it has been such a reassurance knowing that the Lord is with me, whatever I face. And in finishing, I would like to say this. What a blessing it is to be a part of a church that encourages all people to come to a saving faith in Jesus Christ. And as a parent, there is no greater joy than seeing your children grow up in their faith and become followers of Christ. And for me, reading this, one of the most encouraging and nicest things about this is that he didn't want to be in the hospital bed dying, and he wasn't. Like, how far from that can you get, being wide open on a motorbike, hanging out with friends? And that's a comfort for me. So yeah, cheers.
Thanks so much, Laurence. Your dad would be really proud of you, and I know having you out there on that day was important to him and to you, and that's a special part of your life that you'll always remember. Great to hear those little bits of humour coming through there from John. It's nice to hear that, because